Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? It's been a couple days since I've been on, so I just kind of wanted to come on and touch bases, let you know how things are doing. Health-wise, I'm a lot better. Just been kind of resting a lot, Also to let you know, I kind of feel like it's so much happening that it's scary. It's just kind of it's a lot happening. It actually feels like it's the end of the world. But I know God is able and willing to rescue his children from the hands of the enemy. And sometimes it gets real hard to kind of stay in the mix knowing that so many people are falling. It is time that we self-examine and that we make sure that we're in the right place mentally, physically, get rid of all the stress and the anxieties. And I was thinking, we talk a lot about women in ministry or women pastors and women preachers. And I feel like women have been ostracized from a lot of stuff. Like we are illegally discarded by the men in our lives or even the men in our cultures. Being that all these preachers are falling short and so many things are just really not adding up for God and church and belief and faith. But I'm going to always hold on to my faith no matter what I go through, because I know that I even need a higher power, higher than myself. Being human is kind of weird, We go through so many different ups and downs and twists and turns that it gets hard to believe that there's even a spirit inside of us, because we go through so much. But you do know there's a spirit inside you, because you get a will to move forward even when you don't want to. You know what I mean? But I just thank God that he's sustaining me and helping me to come to an understanding about how powerful he is and who he is and what he is. Because if we depended on the people on this planet that we are here with, it seems like we're so divided and so screwed up. It is not a sad conversation, though. Don't get me wrong. I'm just kind of feeling like, what's going on in this world? What is happening? Why are they attacking Trump so much? Like, one man cannot go through all this stuff that these people are putting them through for no reason at all. Because it seems like they're dropping charges left and right against him. But in my mind, there shouldn't have been any charges from the beginning, because everything they're saying that he did, they do. They Biden was caught with all these papers from when Obama was president. He wasn't even president, so he shouldn't even have those papers. And legally, Trump should have the papers because he was a president. So it's like so much going on. But I want to inspire y'all to understand and know this. There's something big coming. A change is happening. We're going back to the gold standard, which we were taking off years ago. And things are going to get better for us. It's going to look up for us. Whether you believe in Trump or not, it doesn't matter. Your life will change if you hang in there and understand that God said the riches of the unrighteous is stored up for the righteous, and he is making it happen. There's so many people with student loan forgivenesses, house notes disappear, car notes disappear. They don't owe any money on it. That's all part of this. And it's just happening so slow and not to everybody at the same time that it feels like it's not, but it is. On top of all these other things that are happening. You know, I was listening on YouTube today, and I was hearing about this girl named Blue and the girl that they kidnapped and beat and raped, tormented, and then shot her in the back of her head. It kind of like, you wonder, what is the devil doing? Like, what is happening to our babies? Like, these are young kids. These are not full-grown adults. They're 18, 20, 22, 23. Those are babies to me. You know, they still have a long life to live, but yet they're destroying themselves with all the violence out here. I want people to understand that, you know, I know as Black people, we've been really screwed over. All our life we've been screwed over. Everything's been intentional. It has not been by accident. The white people want us to see them as superior. And I don't have any problem with whites. Don't get me wrong. I got a lot of white friends and I love them. But this place where they have been entitled, but the Black people have not been entitled, and they've been struggling all their life, and the kids are like going wow because the stress levels of what's happening around them don't make no sense. So they feel like the only way they can get active is to harm somebody, and that gets them attention, but it ruins their lives. You know, their lives will be ruined from this. I just wish that we can have peace on earth. I wish that the grass was greener. I wish the sky was bluer. I wish the water was blue and green and clean, and the animals were safe, and humans could just enjoy the outside without all the violence and fear. You know, it just feels so out of whack. But I'm praying to God that my prayer is that, you know, Black people themselves will find it in their heart to believe and have faith in God that things will get better for us as a people. I do know we've been on this land for a long time. All our life we've been on this land. This is our land. And when Christopher Columbus' so-called pirates came over here and confiscated everything and put us into a screwed up situation, have really lied to us about everything concerning our people, our culture. We've been lied to about everything. And there are people who are awake to the knowledge of the truth that's going on out there. And then there's a lot of people who are still sleepwalking and they attack. And what I notice is that people are angry. The ones who don't know what's happening, they're angry, they're violent, they looting stores and causing all kinds of problems. But, you know, in the end, like I said, the riches that are stored up for the unrighteous is stored up for the righteous. And we're going to get our day where we will have everything we've ever wanted. And even if it's just the bare minimum of getting a good education and getting a good job and being able to support ourselves rightfully, not entitledly, but rightfully. I also know that, you know, so many times I wonder, like, all the preachers that are falling short. And you know, there was a time when women just like consumed the church. Like it was just a bunch of women in church and mothers, and there were barely any men in there. And we had good services, but the preachers always said, we gotta get the brothers in. We gotta get the brothers in. They wanted to reach out to the men because the women were the ones holding up the standard of God for organized religion, so to speak. And now that the doors are open and the men are running to the church to try to find peace, they're packing out the church. But the way they're packing out the church, they're coming in looking at the church like it's a business, and they're getting positions and titles. And it reminds me of The Rapture, the movie. Remember the movie The Rapture? Everybody that left, the preachers were still there, and they were wondering why, if you've been preaching to us all these years and you've been telling us the Bible and telling us about God, why are you still here? Why didn't God take you? Well, God is showing us now why he didn't take them and why he won't take them as long as they stay in that mess that they're in. Now, I'm not here to preach to anybody, and I really don't have any problems with people's sexuality. That's their business. It ain't none of my business. It ain't nobody else's business. But when you start messing with kids, when you start messing with little boys and little girls in the church, you are tainting God's cloth. You are putting the blood stain of these babies on his cloth with his name, because you up in there saying you love God, and and you preaching to the people about the spiritual path to God and the Bible and all that, but then you don't believe it yourself. You don't even believe it yourself because you can't commit from sin to the life of righteousness. And it kind of like, I feel like they're making women illegal. Like they don't even look at all the transvestites that are trying to be women who were born males. It's almost like they're trying to erase women from the planet. Every man that I know, not everyone, me personally, but there's a lot of men out there that don't like women. They don't want to be in a male relationship. They want to be in a male to male relationship or female to female relationship, but they don't want to be in like a relationship with a female, or they're the heterosexual people. And I kind of like feel like this is a time for prayer more than any other time. We need to pray more than any other time, so hard that we make God hear us, because there's so much pain and so much darkness on this planet right now. If you're not feeling it, you're not awake. If you're not feeling the sting of this sin on this planet and the things that are happening, I don't believe you're fully awake. A lot of people died during the COVID. They think they got COVID, but these doctors were actually killing them with these generated, what do you call them? They put them on a ventilator and literally killed them in the hospital. I know that sounds deep and it sounds heavy and it's alleged, okay? I'm going to say alleged, but I know for a fact what's going on because I've seen it. And what bothers me, is all my siblings. I have 8, it's 8 of us. And all of them took the vaccine. Not me, but all of them. And I remember the first time my oldest sister took it, she immediately had gallbladder issues and wound up having to have her gallbladder removed. She ain't never had any issues with gallbladder. Then my youngest brother, who is the knee baby to my mom, had a heart attack. And they had to put a stent in his heart right after he took these vaccines. Then my older sister that just had the gallbladder wound up having 50 mini strokes, on top of the fact that they thought she had a mild heart attack. And it's just scary to think that our government, the way they're attacking Trump, they're actually attacking us. They're bringing illegals in, giving them $3,000 checks, giving them room and board, closing our children's schools so that they can have a shelter to live in, putting out veterans and elderly people from nursing homes and putting these people in them and giving them medical care. I mean, all kinds of stuff. Flying them in, boating them in, shipping them in. It's crazy. I kind of wonder, what is happening to this planet? What is happening to our people? And y'all need to know this is not just happening in America. It's happening everywhere, all over the world. Look it up. It's happening in every country. I remember in 2020, 21, I looked on YouTube and there was like 5 different videos of celebrity deaths who had died in the same month, the same year, and practically the same time. Y'all may not believe this, but they're being executed. Why are they being executed? Because there's a land underground. They have dug into underground. There's cities underground. And these people were getting ready to go down there and set off a nuclear bomb up here to take us all out. On top of the fact that they stealing our kids, they're getting adrenochrome from them, they're tormenting them, they're raping them. It just feels so bad, like sin is so dark and so dirty. If you're human, you will feel the energy of this in the air and wake up and research and try to find out what the truth is, what's going on. But so many people are comfortable where they are. And they don't want to know the truth. And they will attack you for telling the truth. And I probably will be attacked because of what I'm saying here tonight. But I don't care. You can say whatever you want to say. But I know the truth. And in the end, God is taking back his children. That's what's happening. He's taking these devils out, separating the wheat from the tare. And that's why a lot of preachers are being exposed, because he's separating the wheat from the tare. And his children hear his voice. His children know their father when he speaks. And when you believe in God, nothing can ever make you turn away from him. He is a lifetime soul mate to you. But so many people are wishy-washy, being tossed to and fro in the world, not even knowing whether they coming or going, don't want to hear sound doctrine, don't want to hear sound teaching, don't want nobody to tell them anything. If you try to tell them something, they'll cuss you out in a heartbeat. That's the stench of sin, disobedience, and chaos. Death, murder, rape is all a sting of sin. And I just think that we need to get to a place where we get closer to our Father in heaven and make sure that our soul is right. Make sure you repent for the just in case sins that you may be doing, because none of us are free from sin. None of us. We're all born into sin, and we constantly every day have to bring our flesh under subjection to God because of sin. Every day there's something new that we need to repent for, because this flesh is an entity of itself. The flesh is a living being of itself, and it can make you do things that you don't want to do. Let's say, for instance, you were starving. If you were starving, let me tell you, and let's say they starved you for 6 months, put you in a room with a glass between you and a full plate of food, steak, steaming, rolls, greens, mac and cheese, all that kind of stuff. Do you know the flesh will cause you to bruise your own body to try to get to that food because it wants it so bad? It's an entity of itself. So that's why the Bible says that the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Whichever one you feed the most is going to be the strongest. And I see a lot of people today that their flesh is getting the best of them. And they're not willing to fight it. They want what they want: lust, riches, cars, houses, women, men, everything. They will not deny their flesh because they feel entitled. They feel like they gotta take care of what they want. And it's a form of selfishness because you don't think about the people that you're risking paying this price to get what you want. People are hurt by the things people do, thinking they're doing it for themselves, but they're really doing it and for themselves, but they're hurting other people to get there. I definitely don't want to be in that place. I want to be right with God. I want my soul right with God. I want to seek God. I want to learn of Him. I want to be with Him. I want Him to be pleased with me. And, to me, riches doesn't matter. I don't even know how I would be as a person if I were rich. But I do know that struggles make you closer to God. That's why in Matthew it talks about the Beatitudes. Blessed is ye who mourn. Blessed is ye who suffer for His name's sake. Blessed is those who, go through so many different things, instead of bless those who conquer, bless those who struggle through and make it. No, it's saying bless those who go through stuff. Because if you stand strong and get through it, you're going to be all right. You're going to be all right. We will be all right. So hang in there and understand there is a lot going on in this world. I just never seen a man so crucified by the government like they doing Trump for all the things they're saying he did. Y'all gonna find out that's not true. None of it was true. And there is gonna come a day of reveal where you will understand why he allowed himself to be put through this stuff. Because he cares about you. He want to save our country, and the people of the world are fighting to save their country from these tyrannical governments. Just like Biden sitting there letting these people come in our country. That's an invasion. That's an act of war. When you allow your country to be overran and you take care of these foreigners more than you take care of your own people, that's not a president for us. Because we, the people, are their boss. We put them in position. And now that we see what they're doing, we need to take them out. And I don't mean death or anything like that. We need to move them out of position and put somebody in there that's for the people. So y'all need to vote for Trump, because Trump is fighting for you, even if you don't know it. Look on TikTok. There's so many black people coming to the knowledge of what's really going on with this man. I'm going to tell you a little short story. I have 7 brothers and sisters, and I'm the 8th child. I was the middle child, so I went through the middle child syndrome, right? Well, they as we were abused by my father growing up, as a child, in me, I couldn't take it seeing my family suffer so much. I didn't even care about my pain. I cared more about theirs. And they abused me because I cared about them and their suffering. I did not want them suffering, so I sacrificed myself to always be in the midst to try to save them from something and to love them and make them feel loved. But I got attacked. And that seems to be the way things are, is backwards. Like, you can't see that I'm loving on you, even in your pain. And this is the things that's going on with Trump. You got a whole group of people attacking him. My whole group of siblings attacked me and attacked me so much till I got PTSD all my life. I was the one beat up on. I was the one abused. And I was determined that they weren't going to destroy me. I've been through enough with my dad. I ain't want to keep this thing going. So I got myself together. I went to college. I got 2 degrees in art. I'm an artist. So if you want to go look at some of my work, all you got to do is go on my homepage, and other videos that I have there with my art on there will show up and you can see it. But I went to college. I worked my butt off to try to be somebody and stay in my world and stay out their lane, and they still tried to find a way to destroy me. I mean, jealousy was so high because I was the first one in my family to even go to college, but the least one they thought would be successful in anything. So when you acknowledge that when you're in a family and they're all attacking you, this is what it feels like with Trump. Like, too many of them are attacking him. Why? You got to know, when there's a group of people attacking you, there's something they're trying to prevent from happening because of either jealousy or they feeling some kind of way about the things he do that's good. And then there's like the other part of that is no one person can ignite so many people to attack them unless you're wearing a sign on your back that say, "Kick me." No one person should ever feel like they've been attacked by the majority. If one person do it, I can understand. If 2 people do it, I can understand. But a whole bunch of them, all 7 of my siblings, all the government is after Trump. I understand what he's going through. And I know why he's where he is. And whether you know that or not, I just want you to know that you need to hang in there and understand that something is happening around us that we're either unfamiliar of, don't want to know, don't want to wake up to the truth, and we stay comfortable in our mess. Not me. I see what's going on, and I don't like it. You look at the Fannie Willie case, they dropped 5 of the charges that they had against him because they could not charge him for them. He was never charged for insurrection. He was never charged for January 6th. He wasn't charged for that. They can't charge him because he didn't do it. It was them. The government did all that. And they try to blame it on him. It's too much fake stuff going on. But eventually you'll find out during the reveal, and it's coming very soon. Might be April the 8th. I don't know. That's a date that I feel strongly about because that's a big date for a lot of things to happen. But I hope you guys will wake up to the truth and know what the truth is so that you can enjoy the benefits that's coming in the future. Because there is a great future in store for us who are awake, who are God's chosen. And those who are sinning and doing the bad things, they're not God's chosen. And they will be exposed continuously So I just want y'all to know that. If you look at the Second Amendment in the Constitution of the United States, they say when there's a tyrannical government, we the people have a right to boot them out and put in the people that we know are going to fight for us. So anyway, I got to get my grandkids up for school. So it was nice to come back on here and talk to y'all. I haven't been here in a while. God bless you. I love you. Pray for me, please. I'm asking all of y'all who follow me, please pray for me. I'm not hurting or anything, but my health has been attacking me lately. As I told you in my last video, my blood sugar was up to 600 when I went to the emergency room, and my sodium levels was 130, which is pretty low. I guess from drinking all that water and from being thirsty from the diabetes, but just pray for me that I hang in there and God heals me, and that I continually stand firm and trusting in my Father, because He is the ultimate healer, and I know He can heal. So I love you all so much, and I pray for you. I just pray for all my subscribers that God will just heal you. God will restore faith. God will love on you and treat you well. Bye-bye.